Out tonight. Has anybody here been to the Lions Comedy Show before? And you're in the middle, y'all know the rules, right? If there's a fire, y'all die. There's no escaping that way. I'm done already? Fuck you. Thank y'all coming out tonight. This means a lot to me. We have a great show for y'all tonight. I just want to go ahead and get something clear. We've already talked about the pagers and cell phones being off. But if for any reason you're easily offended or anything like that, we don't have time for you. I mean, there's comedians here that'll joke about a lot of stuff. They may open your eyes. They may think, like, stuff you couldn't think before about others. What the fuck? Thank you.
Not done yet?
I mean, they may open your eyes to anything. Like, for instance, someone may come up and talk about rapists. Nobody likes them. Maybe they'll give you some new insight. Like, I for one, actually kind of, there's somebody I can admire for a rapist. Like, it must be pretty hard to keep it up with, like, the mace and the taser and the screaming. If I take my pants off and my girlfriend giggles, I'm done. And it's hard enough arguing, because, I mean, anyone here with somebody right now? Anybody here dating someone or married? Anything? Anybody here tonight like that? Okay, so everyone here has argued. Am I right? Everyone here has argued. Well, and the thing is, it's not fair being a guy in an argument. It's not. Because y'all cheat. Because you don't even need to make sense. Because there's something y'all can do that a guy can't do. Whether it's a small argument, a big argument, whether you're talking about something small, like I don't lift a seed, or I don't pick up after myself, or something you think is serious, like smelling your underwear or sleeping with your sister. It doesn't matter what it is, because a conversation can always end, an argument can always end, because a girl has the ability to cut you off. At some point, you just have to understand, if you keep this argument going, you're not getting laid tonight. And that's not fair to us, because a guy can't do that. A guy can't be like, all right, listen here, twat. You keep this shit up? Keep it up, go ahead. And you know what? I'm not going to wake you up in the middle of the night with my dick going, hey. 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 Oh, you're awake. Guess who's sorry? I do mean like arguing, like in the car is the worst. Has anyone here hate backseat drivers? You know what I'm saying? Like you're driving and they just got to put their 2 cents in. Anybody here hate that shit? I don't mind that as much because I can block it out, but what I hate is backseat drivers. And what I mean by that is, if I'm driving, they think they have a brake pedal on their side. Like, I mean, everyone here has been cut off. Everyone has their own way of showing it. Everyone has their own way of speeding up or slowing down when you see a kid. Everyone's different. But to just throw, it's not just a foot, because sometimes they go the extra mile. There's a foot, and apparently another brake pad up here and up here. Like, this is going to stop the car. At some point, I'm just going to ram right into the back of the car, and everyone's going to be asking me what's the problem. And I'll be like, ask the driver. She had her feet and hands on 3 brakes. I had 1. I'm sorry, it's a long night for me. I'm alright. Like, last month, I hosted a comedy show here, and it went great. It did, and I want to thank you all again for coming out to this one. This is big. This is a great room for this, too. And shortly after the show, I had my birthday. And for my birthday, we went out and drank and celebrate. And who here is from the Fredericksburg area or familiar with Route 3? Okay. Are you acting proud? Anyways, there's a place here called Funland. Okay? Not exactly the place to go when you're drunk. Anyone else here know that it's possible to get a DUI while on a go-kart? I didn't even know how they could tell I was drunk. It was 3 laps in, I hadn't even moved yet. But they pulled my naked ass right out of that go-kart in a hurry. I guess I didn't learn very well, like, growing up as a kid, you know? Growing up for me was different. Like, I grew up with my stepmom and my dad. My stepmom was a stripper, my dad was a drug dealer. Career day was huge for me. Who do I take? But I ended up going with my stepmom, you know, because Some days she dressed like a nurse, tried to pass her off as the doctor. Now, not everybody bought it, but I passed the class. Like, I didn't think the teacher, Mr. Davis, was mad at me, but for some reason or another, we always had parent-teacher conferences at my house.
Wow.
Dad was never home. And, I mean, I respect my dad, I do. But it's kind of hard having a drug dealer for a dad. Like, I never liked it when he weighed out my lunch. 2 grams of Cheetos is not a lot in a small baggie. Another thing is, growing up with a drug dealer father, he had some addictions. And back in the day, they used to make Slurpees a big deal. Anybody remember? Like, they would advertise them, everyone would have them. They were a big deal back then. And going way back, they used to have these straws that you could take home. They were souvenir straws. You put them in the freezer. You keep them. Whenever you want a free Slurpee, you just put it in there and drink it. I had one of those, and apparently one night my dad could not find a straw and used mine and didn't tell me. I haven't had a Slurpee in 20 years because the last time I did, I didn't sleep for a week. I didn't have that many toys, actually. Back when I look at it, like, one of my main toys that I actually liked, I had Bop It. Does anybody remember that? Bop It, Twist It, Pull It. ADD kicking in yet? Do you remember what Bop It is? I had Bop It, and I play with it all the time, but one night it disappeared. I couldn't find it. And I felt bad. It's one of my 2 toys. That and Ball in a Cup. But I walked by to go to the bathroom. I'm walking down the hallway, and I walk past my stepmom's room, and I hear, "Twist it, pull it." I'm figuring she stole my Bop It, right? I walk in there, I'm like, "You have my..." There's no Bop It in here, is there? Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Mr. Davis.